Hey guys, just a quick, this really, I guess it's a preface. It's not a preface to what my editorial is this morning, but I wanted to say something because I was reading some comments. Well, their responses to a comment I made on someone else's video where I told them about my case and then I took a plea deal and so forth. Now, not to rehash it, but you all know that I recorded a police officer who was yelling at me. And I had not acknowledged the deputy. I didn't even know he was standing over there. I just heard him yelling my name. It's like, what the hell was he yelling about? 6 days later, after recording him, I got accused of jaywalking when I didn't. I legally crossed. And then when I gave my name and date of birth, I was arrested for refusing to give my information. That said, so I told, I said, well, there's a certain YouTuber, Desert Sentinel, is dead. And I told Desert Sentinel, my court case, since you keep up on them, was I took a plea deal for noise because I yelled really loud. So it was unreasonable noise, disturbance. And somebody said, well, if you hadn't have been out there harassing the cop, you wouldn't have got arrested. And you caused this. You caused the stress and da-da because you were out there harassing this police officer with your camera. And so I called the person a bootlicker, because they're defending this cop who obviously took offense to me recording him and found an occasion to retaliate. And then 3 other people come in going, why do you, every time someone comes against you, First Amendment auditors, they got to be a bootlicker. No. When someone accuses you of getting arrested simply because you are harassing the police officers without knowing the facts, they're supporting bad cop behavior because they don't know the facts. They're a bootlicker. Anybody that defends bad cop behavior, you're a bootlicker. I don't know how else to say it. It says, thank you guys for watching. Let's get to the editorial. Hey guys, it's Tuesday morning, and I have an editorial for you here on this Tuesday morning. I'm going to bring you a story out of Oklahoma City. It happened a couple years ago, but just yesterday the jury came to a verdict, and they found this police officer something. Try not to give too much away, but I'm going to take you to Oklahoma City this morning in an editorial. I want to know what you think in the comment section below about the jury's recommendation and the jury's finding on this case. I will put a link to the whole story in the description box below. And as always, I'm going to give my opinions on this. I already kind of know what I want to say about this. I know you're going to disagree with me, some of you. Go ahead and disagree. Go ahead and justify this cop's behavior. Because that's what some people do that. Some people are going to literally say, well, the cop, has got a hard job, man. It's not easy being a police officer. Yeah, it's not easy. That's right. And they have to remember, they have a gun. A gun has bullets. Bullets come out of the end of it. They take human lives. So if you're not willing, if you're going to be a law enforcement officer, but you're not willing to think every second through when you're about to take a human life. Is he armed? Do I need to do this? If you're just going to be one of those who gets, well, I feared for my life, so I shot, then obviously you place no value on human life. You're just one of those who just wants to be a cop. You don't really take into consideration what it means to be a law enforcement officer. You have to weigh human life every day. You may have to weigh human life at a given moment. Do I kill this person, or hold on, do I assess the situation? You're going to find that this cop is a chicken shit who took a human life. Yeah. And you can disagree with me, cop supporters. Going to Oklahoma City, we're coming out of News 9, Oklahoma. Thank you, News 9, Oklahoma, for this story. Jennifer Pierce, almost said Price. Jennifer Pierce and Lisa Monahan, News 9, thank you for this story. A jury found an Oklahoma City police sergeant guilty of second-degree murder and recommended a 10-year sentence with no fine Monday. Yeah. Jurors deliberated for over 5 hours in the second-degree murder case against Sergeant Keith Sweeney. Sweeney was charged with second-degree murder after prosecutors said he unlawfully killed a suicidal man, 29-year-old Dustin Pigeon, in November of 2017. The last words jurors heard were from District Attorney David Prater, asking them to return a guilty verdict to punish Sweeney and promote public safety. But before that, prosecutors played portions of a 911 call from November 15, 2017, and they showed body cam video. Pigeon's mother was overwhelmed with emotion as she heard the gunshots that ended her son's life, and she left the courtroom in tears. Prater, the prosecutor, told the jury that everyone at the scene was placed in a horrible situation because Sweeney ignored everything he was taught. The prosecutors said, quote, "The last thing police should want to do is murder a citizen they're sworn to protect." And that's true. I mean, the last thing they should want to do, it's protect and serve, right? So the last thing they should want to do is take a human life, is murder a citizen. But yeah, they do it every single day. And I'm not talking about when someone points a gun at a cop and cocks the hammer back, or someone's running at a cop with a knife and he gets within a foot or two. Or I'm not talking about that. I'm not talking about when someone is literally trying to injure, murder, or whatever a cop. That's, you point a gun at a cop and cock the hammer back, you're going to get killed. I'm talking about these unarmed citizens. I'm talking about people that aren't armed. People that they could be tased, pepper sprayed, beanbagged, as this guy was beanbagged, you'll find out, or whatever. There are other methods of that they could do, and they just pull their gun and start shooting. I'm talking about unarmed citizens. DeKalb County, Georgia, I'm going to keep bringing it up. Unarmed and naked. Shot 6 feet away. So the last thing they should want to do is murder citizens that they're sworn to protect, like the prosecutor said, but they do it every single week, it seems like. I don't know. Maybe I'm exaggerating that number a little. But how many editorials have I done where somebody was shot by police and they were unarmed, or they weren't a threat, or they were running away? Well, they're running away. They're a threat to other citizens. Maybe a plane will fall out of the sky. Maybe that guy over there is going to run the stop sign and hit somebody. Or maybe not. We don't know that. Stop playing Nostradamus. It's been almost 2 years since police were called to the 1400 block of Southwest 20th Street to approach a suicidal person, Dustin Pigeon. Pigeon reportedly doused himself with lighter fluid, held a lighter, and threatened to kill himself. Pigeon was killed when he refused to comply with officers' commands. The district attorney's office eventually determined, however, that the use of deadly force was not justified. Listen to this. According to the court document, Sweeney shot Pigeon multiple times after Pigeon was hit by projectile from a beanbag shotgun deployed by another officer. Pigeon was pronounced dead at the scene. So another officer tried to do the right thing. He shot him with a beanbag, hoping that would knock him to the ground. And instead of using tasers to follow up on that, this Sweeney guy just shot him. Well, he's not down. That didn't work. Let's try bullets. The court document said the investigation into the incident concluded Pigeon was not armed and not a threat to the officers when he was shot by Sweeney. Prosecutors reiterated Monday, that was yesterday, that the other officers both testified that Pigeon never made threats and made no advance towards the officers. Well, at least they told the truth. They have video footage, right? Body cam. That's another thing I want to get to real quick. Hey, all of you out there, when the police stop you, will you start recording? You know how many traffic stops I've recorded where nobody else is recording the police? And I've even had some people go, "Why are you recording me? Stop." Yeah, I'll let this officer do what he's got to do, search your vehicle, put you on the curb, violate your Fourth Amendment civil rights, and then lie on his police report because there's no video. Yeah, let's do that. What if their body cams weren't on? What if no officer there had turned on their body cam? Then it's whatever the cop said. Well, yeah, he was armed. Knife. It's a switchblade. There you go. Throw down. It's called a throwdown weapon. I'm not saying they would do that, but wouldn't be the first time in history. So always record the police, guys. Get your freaking cameras going when you see law enforcement out there. Because you could tell the truth to somebody's demise. You could be the one that tells the truth on a civil rights violation. You know how many times I've done, how many editorials I've done where they said the body cam footage the body cams were turned off, or officers never turned on their body cams, or the body cam footage was corrupted. Yeah, the data was corrupted, just like the one in the Costco, the Corona Costco, where they said the only camera working that day was way over there in the corner by the meat department or whatever department it was. Not the one that's above them where the shooting occurred. No, that camera wasn't working that day. That's the camera that just happened to be fucking off. Always record the police, guys. Always. Before the prosecution closed, Sweeney's attorney, Gary James, thanked the jury and said, "Hey, Mo, hey, Mo." No, he didn't say that. I'm sorry. I had to throw that out there. Do you see this guy? Let's go on. Before the prosecution closed, Sweeney's attorney, Gary James, thanked the jury for the service and reminded them of the difficulty, the emotions, and the facts of the case. Attorney Gary James called it an emotional case because he said, quote, "Officers are an element of society that society has seemed to turn its back on." Well, that's because they keep being bullies. They keep intimidating people. They walk up to people that are just exercising their constitutional right of First Amendment. Boy, I spit that out. And they try to tell people, you stand way back there where you can't focus in on me. Or I'm trying to do this, and right now I have to put my attention on you as somebody walks by on the sidewalk. You're like, are you putting your attention on them? Oh, they don't have a camera. Yeah, so society has turned its back on the police because there are so many cops out there violating people's First Amendment rights, Fourth Amendment rights, Fifth Amendment rights. There are cops out there that are shooting unarmed people. There are cops out there assaulting people, committing battery on people, and these people don't deserve it. They're not a threat to the cops, but they immediately say, I threatened, or I was in fear of my life. I was in fear of being hurt. That's the go-to. I was in fear of my life. Well, then you had to do it. There you go. Justified. Can we use that? If an officer walks up to us and all we're doing is filming and we push the officer back, can we say, I was in fear of my safety? No, you get arrested for assault on a peace officer. So, yeah, society is seemingly turning its back on law enforcement because so many cops out there are exhibiting bad behavior, and so many of these good cops are justifying it or turning their head. I don't see it. Gary James, the attorney, told the jury that Sweeney reacted to Pigeon the way he was supposed to react. Sweeney thought Pigeon was holding a knife and thought the other two officers and himself were in danger, James said. Really? How come they said, no, that's lighter fluid? Well, I thought he was holding a knife, but the video body cam footage right there. No, that was lighter fluid, they said. A formal sentencing date has not been released at this time, but the jury's recommending 10 years. He'll be out in 7. I know I'm playing Nostradamus now, right? Well, let's say he does the whole 10. Let's say, well, we don't even know what he's going to be sentenced to yet. That was just a recommendation. But the judge is going to probably go with that recommendation, right? I mean, the jury's recommending it. So let's say he gets his 10 years and he does, 7 or 10? Let's say he does the whole thing. 10 years for taking a man's life. You or I did it, we're looking at 20. Right? I don't know. I want to know what you guys think. I'm out of time and I'm belaboring this. Comment section below is open for discussion. Let me know what you think. The link to this story will be in the description box. There is a video in that. The link is below. You can go watch the whole video. I don't know if it looks like it's of the sentencing, the video, because it has him sitting in court. There he is in court. Jury in deliberations for the Oklahoma City officer murder trial. That's the video. It's the crime tracker out of News 9, Oklahoma City. Thank you guys for watching. Happy Tuesday. And I will have another editorial for you tomorrow and for the rest of the week. If I can talk, I need coffee. Community Leo Watch. Watching Leos. That's law enforcement officers in your community. And thank you for watching me.